What's up, guys? I'm the tier list guy, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be making a new video, and this video will be making an NFL tier list of the teams in the NFL. So let's get on with it. So we have the Tennessee Titans. Now, I think this team is an above average team. Do not think they're the best. Personally, I like the Texans. I like what they're doing. They have a really good offense. It's just their defense needs some work. So I think they need really in this free agency to start signing defensive players so that they will take their team to the next level. Now we have the Miami Dolphins. I think their team is also above average. I think like pretty much all the players are average, but how they performed was above average. So I'm actually going to drop them down to average now that I think about it. Their team is an average, solid team. I don't think they were better than really any of the teams that made the playoffs. As you can see, they lost in the first round. I think Tua Tagovailoa, I really wanted him to be good, but I don't know. This first year was pretty sloppy. Um, Hopefully he progresses next season. But yeah, I think in general they're just an average team full of average players who just performed very well. Now we have the Cleveland Browns. I think they are an above average team. I think most of their players are above average. Their record is pretty much what I thought they should have been. I actually was not surprised that they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the playoffs. I called it because I knew that Big Ben is not a good quarterback. And I think that their team way overperformed than actually how their team skill is. Now we have the Jaguars. I'm going to put them in the trash category. I don't know what they're doing there. They have two, I wouldn't even say really good, I'd say average, above average players. Um, but that's not going to get you to the next level. I mean, when you have Miles Jack and DJ Chark. Oh wait, I forget about James Robinson. My bad. Three. Um, I don't know. They just need to fix the team up a lot more. And that's exactly where I'm putting my Detroit Lions, in the same category as them. I don't know what we've been doing for the past couple years. I mean, we had Matt Patricia. There was no point in getting rid of Jim Harbaugh, in my personal opinion. I think he was a pretty good head coach for the Lions. I mean, yeah, I mean, he did a lot better than a lot of coaches we've had. So now we have the Minnesota Vikings. I think they are a decent team. I think their defense needed a lot of work. I think they had a lot of injuries last season. Um, Dalvin Cook is insane. Justin Jefferson really performed well. So did Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins performed decently. I think their main problem was their defense and probably their O line. I didn't really watch much Viking games, so I wouldn't really know for a fact. But this is just, I could see their record. I knew they didn't make the playoffs. I don't know. I just know that Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson were like the main performers on the team, and Harrison Smith is pretty good on the defense. But I think it's all of a matter of the D line, which they basically either got injured or got traded. Now we have the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. A lot of people might disagree with me. I think Tom Brady is still an elite quarterback. 40 something years old, throwing dimes like he has been. He just won another ring over Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, which, oh my gosh, that O line was atrocious. But I think he performed well. I think the defense on Tampa Bay is really good. The only thing that Tampa Bay could really work on is most likely their secondary. But other than that, their team is pretty good. Now we have the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're an above average team. Their defense is really good. Their offense is pretty solid. Yeah, I just think they're an above average team next season when most of them will be healthy. I think they will be a playoff contender. I don't think Super Bowl. I mean, they could, but I don't know about this rookie quarterback that they added in. I'm not a huge college watcher, so that's just my personal opinion. They're above average team. Now we have the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're a decent team. Um, Actually, this video was posted after the Julio Jones trade. I think that Kyle Pitts pickup could make up for Julio Jones, but I think they're a decent team. The only problem with them as well is their defense. Their defense is atrocious. Both of these teams, the Vikings and the Falcons, have really good offensive firepower, but on their defensive side, it's just atrocious, and they like cannot stop anybody. You know how many comebacks they had? Like the other team that they played against came back against them and beat the Falcons. It was crazy. Now we have the Ravens. I think they're an above average team. I really like their coach in John Harbaugh. I think I like what he's doing. Um, Really, the main thing that they need to work on is their receiving core and maybe Lamar Jackson. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is actually how he was his MVP season, because I knew for a fact he could not repeat that because those stats were incredible. But I just don't think that Lamar Jackson is the greatest throwing quarterback. And I think that's one thing. If Lamar changes, we'll take a huge step in his game. Now we have the Chicago Bears. I think they're an average team. You know, going 8-8. Their quarterback situation, I think if they had a better quarterback, would be an above average team. But instead of getting Russell Wilson, they went for Andy Dalton. Like, there was no need for that. Mitchell Trubisky's gone. I think this team's just an average team. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky was good. I'm just saying he is gone. Now we have the Bengals. I think they're a decent team. I really like what they're doing down there, and I think if the rookies progress, they'll be a great team. I mean, you got Tyler Boyd, Higbee, um, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. I really like what they're doing down there, and I think that team will be actually really good. Now we have the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys are only an average team. The reason why I'm putting them at average, I know last year they were injured a lot. Even if they weren't injured, Dak would have most likely, if he was actually playing the way he did the first couple of games, would have won MVP. I'm not a huge Cowboys fan, but I think Dak would have won MVP if he was playing at such the high level he was at the beginning. But their defense is just so atrocious. Just like these teams don't have the best defense, but I mean their offense is so much better than these teams because their O line is crazy. Zeke took a huge deep dip this year in skill, but I think average is a good spot for them. Now we have the Texans. I think they're a decent team. I don't know what's happening with Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna be honest. I really like Deshaun Watson, and hearing this stuff is actually really like pretty sad. But I don't really know what to think about it, to be honest. I think that they were a decent team. I think Deshaun Watson put them on his back because their defense was terrible. Their offense was actually not too bad because of Will Fuller, I think, before he got suspended, had a great season before he got suspended. So, yeah. Now we have the Colts. I think they're an above average team. Their defense is pretty good. Their offense is pretty good. They're all around pretty good team. I really didn't see them in the playoffs. I'm thinking about putting them in the average category, but I'll go back to them because I don't know how about Carson Wentz. But if Carson Wentz performed like he used to, I think this team will be an above average team. Now we have the Rams. They're an above average team. Goff just underperformed last season. And with Matthew Stafford, they could be the best. They could be up here, but we gotta wait and see because Stafford was with my Lions, and who knows how the transition will be, new coach, all this stuff. Now we have the Chargers. I think they're a decent team. I don't think they're up here yet. Next season they might be. With the new line, I think they drafted an offensive lineman, and Justin Herbert could do a lot better. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do good. I think he could still be progressing still, is what I'm saying. So he could do a lot better. Now we have the Chiefs, no question about it. When you have that much firepower, defense could use a little work, but when you're that offensive firepower, it's crazy. Now we have the New Orleans Saints. Now this one could be controversial. I'm going to put them at average. They're losing a lot of their firepower. Due to salary cap issues, Drew Brees is retiring, which Drew Brees wasn't really that good. I'm not even going to lie. So the only reason why I'm putting them here, they would generally be an above average team, but the reason why I'm putting them at average is the salary cap issues, and yeah, we'll just see how they do during the season. Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, I don't get why they even think about Taysom Hill. I think it's pretty much an easy Jameis Winston. If they can help Jameis Winston control his interception problem, then they will be definitely an above average team. Now we have the Giants. I'm sorry to say it, they are a trash team. The hype, the overratedness of Daniel Jones is crazy. People are thinking he is so good. No, he is not, in my personal opinion. I think that Daniel Jones is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league, beside Drew Lock, which I'll get to after the next couple of teams, because Daniel Jones is just so overrated. He literally, like, they're naming him their starting quarterback when he hasn't been doing good at all, in my personal opinion. Now we got the Eagles. I'm gonna put them at decent as well. I think these two teams together, they could, if their rookie quarterbacks keep progressing, could keep going up. And yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Chicago Bears. Now I think about rookie quarterbacks, they could keep progressing with Justin Fields, and that they could progress with Trey Lance. I'm so sorry, I cannot talk today. Now we have the Steelers. This is hard. I'm dropping them down to average only because of the quarterback situation. I think their defense is absolutely insane. Actually, no, I'm going to move them to above. I think their defense is absolutely insane, but they really have to change that quarterback. I think they'd be one of the best teams in the NFL if they did not have such a old quarterback that they keep, who's washed up. I'm not even going to lie, he's washed up at this point in his career. But anyway, yeah, that's my opinion. Now, I think the Broncos are actually a decent team. I think they just really need to fix that quarterback situation. I think Drew Lock is overrated, like I said. Um, yeah, he's just super overrated. But they do have some firepower on that team, like Noah Fant, and then the defense with Justin Simmons. I don't know what's happening with Von Miller. I heard he was in trouble about something last time I heard about him. But yeah, I like Von Miller as a player, so yeah, I hope he comes back and didn't do what I think they said he did. Best team in the league, the Packers. I don't know about the Aaron Rodgers situation. If they get rid of Aaron Rodgers, this team's dropping all the way down to average. I think Aaron Rodgers boosts that team so much. Their defense isn't really that good. They have an alright defensive line, but like their secondary and their cornerbacks, I just no bueno. Now we have the Carolina Panthers. I think this team is a decent team. I think CMC was injured, really hurt them last season. Their quarterback situation with Sam Darnold, we'll see how he does. I think this team could be average, but they are a decent team. I would not put them in trash, but it's a debate between average and decent. Now we have the Raiders, definitely one of the most average teams in the league. Derek Carr is not your preferred starting quarterback. I think they really need to touch up on that. But yeah. Now we have the Washington Redskins. I think the Washington Redskins are an average team. I think that Chase Young is going to keep progressing. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a great addition, but we need to see how he does. That's why I don't want to put him in these high categories without seeing how they progress. Because this is like my early type prediction type stuff on how they will do pretty much. Because this is like top records, like above average records, like above 8-8. This is like around 8-8, and this is like a little bit below 8-8, and then this is like 4 wins. Like, that's how I'm thinking about it. But I just need to see how these players progress. I think Washington wasn't really that bad last year, actually. Chase Young, Scary Terry. Um, yeah, I think they're just a good team in general. Now we have the Cardinals. I think this team would be above average, but how they performed in the playoffs, Oh wait, no, they didn't even make the playoffs. I forget about this. The fact that they didn't even make the playoffs with that much firepower shows you either they need a new head coach or they need to do some work on the defensive end because their offensive end is pretty crazy. I think Kyler Murray is still progressing. I think if this year he performs well, they're definitely going to be an above average team. But like Tua and him, they're both, and Justin Fields, like a lot of these people, the reason why they're here is because I need to see how they progress as a team by the moves that they did because I don't know how they did. Okay, one of the best teams in the NFL. This is literally last season's both conference championship. Um, I just think they're a really good team, pretty much all around. I just think they could use a little bit work on the defensive end. But yeah, that's about it. Now we have the Seattle Seahawks. I'm gonna put them as above average. They're very close to some of the best, but they need to work on their defense. They're like exactly like the Titans. They just need a little bit work on their defense, and they'll be some of the best teams in the NFL. Now we have the New York Jets. Zach Wilson, who knows how he's going to perform? Um, yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. They didn't have a great record at all. And yeah, now we have the New England Patriots, which I'm going to put as a decent team. I think if Cam Newton goes back to his old style, actually, no, I'm going to put him at average. If Cam Newton starts progressing his game after the injury, like how he used to play, I think the team will be really good. But yeah, I think their players are coming back because a lot of them were gone because of COVID and stuff. And thank God this is ending. Well, this is my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Tell me what kind of tier list you want me to do next. I really enjoy doing these, putting my opinion out on the internet. I find it really fun because I like to hear other people's opinions and what they think about my opinions. Because these are obviously my personal opinions and I can take a judgment. So thank you for watching the video and peace out.